What's up, guys? Son of Smoke here. Week 7 in the NFL is upon us, and I have three player props that I really like as of today that I'm going to share with you guys. And we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it. First off, we have the Lions at the Ravens. Now, I'm looking at this game, and I'm looking at that Lions number one ranked rushing defense. Detroit has only allowed one player to rush for over 44 and a half yards this season. Can you guess who it was? It was Patrick Mahomes back in week one. They faced Isaiah Pacheco, Kenneth Walker, Bijan Robinson, all three together combined for 99 yards. So I am looking at the Detroit Lions going up against the Baltimore Ravens, and their number one running back right now in terms of usage is Gus Edwards. His line is 44 and a half. Gus Edwards is seeing roughly twice the carries of what Justice Hill is currently getting. Certainly, an argument can be made that Justice Hill has been more effective with those touches. On a per touch basis, the past 3 weeks, Hill averaging 4.4 yards per carry to Edwards' 3.1. There's no doubt Baltimore remains committed to the run. Despite all that offseason talk of Lamar Jackson running some sort of air raid offense under offensive coordinator Todd Monken, they're first in rush attempts, and surprise, they're 30th in pass attempts. So I don't doubt that going under 44 and a half yards for Gus Edwards will be a sweat. It certainly will be. It's a low total for a guy that's seeing double digit carries pretty much every game on the number 5 ranked rushing team in the league in terms of yards. But I'm going to back Detroit's top ranked rush defense here to keep these Ravens running backs in check and force Lamar to throw in what should be a highly competitive game between two teams that I think everyone is having fun watching this season. The Ravens at time have been hard to watch, but I like them at home to keep it competitive. But I don't see the Ravens running backs having any success here. That is a number one ranked rush defense for the Lions. They've been playing lights out against the rush. I think if the Baltimore Ravens want to have a chance to beat the Detroit Lions this week, it's going to be on the back of Lamar Jackson, right? If anyone's going to beat that high score of 45 yards rushing versus the Lions that Mahomes has, I think it's going to be Lamar Jackson. In fact, I love Lamar this week in fantasy. I love him in DFS this week. For all those reasons, I think if the Ravens are going to beat the Red Hot Lions, it's going to be because of Lamar. It's not going to be because of Gus Edwards. So give me under 44 and a half yards. It's minus 114 on FanDuel. A little bit more juiced on DraftKings. That's why we got it over here. We're going to head over to DraftKings. Actually, we're going to stay right here because we got a little bit of a better line here. Keeping with the theme of this game being heavily reliant on what Lamar Jackson will be able to do, I'm going to look at one of his favorite targets, and not Zay Flowers. I'm looking at Mark Andrews. Much like I talked about, it's very hard to project the Ravens running backs to have any rushing success here. So Mark Andrews, he's going up against the Lions defense that has shown a weakness at defending tight ends. They're allowing the third most catches and the fourth most yards. And I'm looking at this line 53 and a half. That doesn't look too difficult for him to go over. The past few weeks, Mark Andrews has looked much improved after a bit of a slow start, remains a key component of that Ravens offense. His past 3 games, he's finished with receiving totals of 69, 65, and 80 on 21 targets in those past 3 weeks. And aside from that week 3 beatdown of the Browns, Baltimore consistently is finding itself in tight games, which seems to be the norm for many seasons now. And while Jared Goff has historically been much better at home, there's no denying this Lions team has shown that they have what it takes to hang with just about anybody. So I'm kind of throwing Goff's home and away splits out the window here in terms of whether or not this game is going to be competitive and whether or not the Ravens are going to be thrown for 4 quarters. That's what I like to look at when I'm going for receiving totals. I want to look at teams that are not likely to fall into a game script in which they're running the ball. I expect a close and competitive game. Excuse me there. With neither team running away with it, really, we should see 4 quarters of Baltimore finding success with its star tight end. I think 53.5 is an easy over for Mark Andrews. Give me Mark Andrews over 53.5. The Lions, they have the best rush defense in the NFL. They're giving up a lot of production to opposing tight ends. I don't see how Andrews goes under the total in this game, 53.5. Give me the over. There's no doubt about that. And finally, for my third, I know you see in the upper left hand corner, I got my eye on the Falcons at the Buccaneers. And there is one bet that I really like. I'm kind of surprised at the line when I saw it. Should still be there, and it is. This is probably my favorite bet that I've found so far. All the stats are lining up for me to be on this and for you to consider it. Desmond Ritter is heading to Tampa Bay, and they're taking on the Buccaneers, currently tied for third. A few teams are at the top. 6 interceptions on the season. Atlanta seems to have a reputation for being a heavily reliant on the run game type of team. They're eighth in rushing attempts per game, but this Atlanta offense has continued to find themselves in game scripts where Desmond Ritter is being asked to throw the ball. I mean, just last week he had 47 pass attempts versus Washington. He's had no less than 30 pass attempts since week one. Desmond Ritter is being asked to throw the ball a lot. Now, this is definitely a byproduct of the Atlanta Falcons playing in either close games or playing from behind. But do we expect that to change against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with, let me check this again. Yeah, the Falcons going on the road to Tampa Bay. Do we expect that to be any different? No. I expect this to be a competitive game, and I expect Desmond Ritter to be asked to throw the ball. They're not going to have a fun time running the ball against the Buccaneers. They have the seventh ranked rush defense, and they have been battle tested. All 4 of their previous opponents, top 10 rushing offenses. Let's take a look here. Buccaneers. Bears, Eagles, Saints, Lions. 4 top 10 rushing offenses that they have faced. Going up against the Falcons, another top 10 rushing offense. But they're going to give it to them. This team is battle tested, and now teams are being asked to throw a lot against Tampa Bay. Quarterbacks are averaging 38.5 pass attempts per game against them, averaging 40 over the past 3 weeks. That's among the most in the NFL. I don't see it being any different this home versus Desmond Ritter. He's going to be asked to throw. All the stats align here. I love this pick. I don't know if they have it at plus 105 as some sort of trap, thinking that Taylor Heineke is going to come in the game. I believe that if Taylor Heineke does come in the game for Desmond Ritter, he's going to have to throw an interception first. So give me Desmond Ritter plus 105 to throw an interception against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have shown the ability to make turnover plays on defense. Those are my 3 picks early in the week. Well, Thursday, a little bit early. Thank you for watching. I'll put my Twitter handle down below. Follow me on Twitter at RealSonOfSmoke and keep up with me every week. I'm going to keep coming back and bringing you guys some of my favorite player props that I like each week in the NFL season. Thank you for watching. Son of Smoke. Peace.